All right, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. Good afternoon, and welcome back to the trading room. Thank you so much for joining us at such a short notice. You guys are used to the 2 p.m. trading room, right? But for only for today, we're gonna have this trading room an hour earlier, right? So it's just gonna happen now at 1 up until 2. But remember, this is only for today, all right? Moving forward, we're going to go back to our regular schedule of the 2 p.m. trading room. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. I'm streaming live from Joburg. I really want to know where you're connecting from. Angelique, I can see you. Welcome. Thank you once again. The usual suspects are always here. The usual suspects, all right? We're gonna get started, guys. Let me just do this. Just give me 1 second. And remember, the information discussed in this session is not advice. Please take note of the following. The information discussed in all of our streams is not advice. It's just our point of view on how the markets are going to react with what we're seeing and with what we've seen. All right. And yeah, guys, I'm just going to give it just a second or two, a minute or two, and then let's wait for the slow pokes to join in. All right, there we go. Good afternoon. I'm in the house. Welcome back. No, happy to be in the house. Right? Welcome. Let me just confirm a few things this side. I think the people will join in. It's not a problem. This was a short notice. We were gonna stream at 2, but we are doing it an hour earlier. All right, so. But it's only for today, guys, right? Only for today. All right. Okay, so I think we sorted, guys. I think let's jump straight into it. We're going to skip the formalities. You guys know if you want to open up an account with us, our website is tdmarkets.com. Under the account types, we've got different accounts for you guys, right? We also provide education. So you guys can get the education. All you need is just an account. And get it verified, get it funded, and then you will get access to our sessions. All right. So there we go. So I think let's jump straight into it. Just sorting out a few things this side. All right, so yeah, guys, so let's get it started. Let's get right into it. There's a lot we discussed on Tuesday, but I want to know from you guys, where should we start? All right, what are you looking at? Where should we start? I mean, what we spoke about on Tuesday, the market is moving. We are sticking to the same script. The structures have not changed. We have our, what I would say, long-term direction. We've got our long-term direction. All we are updating is just these short-term price movements we're seeing, right? Like your corrections and so forth and so on. So you're going to go through the updates, but I want to know from you guys, I want to hear from you guys, where should we start? What are you looking at? What's on your mind? What's on your watch list? What positions are you in? Yeah, let's start it from there before we look at a few updates here, right? So let's go. Let's see. USD still bearish. Gold is it in a correction for a bearish? Gold is still bullish, right? Gold is in a correction. What you see on gold right now is a correction, right? It's correcting, but the momentum is still bullish, right? So this will be a situation where obviously you can take advantage of this short-term correction, right? But just be careful where it ends. And overall, gold is still bullish, right? So we're stuck in a correction at the moment. And what we're seeing now is the following. So let me just do this. We have this higher high that formed, all right? We've got this higher high that formed right there. All right, so we're expecting gold to continue pushing towards the upside. Where it is at the moment, it's trading around this area, right? It's bouncing from this zone. This was the previous structure. So this is the current daily candlestick. According to yesterday's price action and trading, we are seeing that there's a lot of pressure in the market, right? So this whole area here, there is buying pressure, right? Obviously, looking at the daily candle. And then we also have this previous week, not a longer week, but we can note it down. So from the daily time frame, we are seeing this candle coming back to tap this zone one more time. In fact, what I would do here is just to look at this range, right? It came back to tap this range one more time. And so because the overall structure remains bullish, and these sellers, people who are selling, they would look at this zone, right? They are going to look at this zone. They are going to look at this zone and then wanting to, so if they are selling, they're going to want to take profit somewhere here. All right. So now from here, we are then waiting to see, right? We are waiting to see if the momentum is gonna continue towards the upside. Now that's what we're waiting to see, because anything can happen. This correction can extend itself, right? We might see something like this before price goes up. At the same time, this area might hold price and then we might see this. So we're just going to be a little bit patient with this to see how this candle is going to close, right? So that's what we want to see. We have this information through this candle around this zone. So today alone, right, there hasn't been much trading activity so far on gold, looking at the daily candle. So what we would want to do now is to look at the, obviously take note of the daily candle and also take note of the lower time frame structure. For instance, this structure here, right? This structure here. So you see, as it is right now, we have not broken above the structure, right? At the same time, if you, let me see if the 4 hour, let me use the 4 hour. So at the moment, we are not broken above the structure, but at the same time, on the 4 hour, we are seeing higher lows starting to form, right? So we might look at this area and say there is a bit of support around this area here on the 4 hour time frame, a bit of support. So we'd note that down. So what we want to see now, right? We want obviously momentum to continue pushing up for price to break above this, but these higher lows are going to give us clues, right? So if, for instance, the market forms another higher low here, let me go to the 1 hour. Yeah, I think the 1 hour is a proper one. So now you see how we've got this higher low. There we go, boom. And then now we are looking at this area, right, which is a previous structure. If we get another higher low here, then this is going to be like confirmations, right? Confirmations for a possible break towards the upside. And the break is what we would wait for to confirm this, right? So we are getting early signs that price might break, but we need the break to happen so that that break can confirm what we saw here. Also, the daily candle, the closure of the daily candle is going to be important, right? It's going to be important. So gold, it remains bullish. It is still bullish. It is just trapped in a correction at the moment, this correction. But once this correction is done, we most likely going to resume trading towards the upside. You see that? So I wouldn't look for sells. Personally, I wouldn't look for sells. I would continue looking for buys, right? Because the potential to the upside is far more bigger than the potential towards the downside, right? Because anything towards the upside, guys, right, has the potential to break the previous high, all-time highs, and create new highs, right? But the potential to the downside, as it is right now, any potential to the downside can come back either to this low, bounce from this low, or even this low, right? The previous lows. This is where we can get like support zones. So yeah, it's a matter of asking yourself a question, right? Any cells, right? Are they worth taking? So if you come across a cell, is it worth risking? Is it worth risking? Is it worth taking? And then gauge the potential, right, towards the downside and to the upside. But as it is right now, it is still bullish. We are in a correction. So yeah, so just waiting for a continuation up, right? So keep an eye on the daily candle. Wait for the daily candle to close, right? And then keep an eye on these structures. Once we get a break, and then once we see daily candlestick closure, then I think from there we can then get to a proper solid what's this case, right? We can get to a proper case. So yeah, so gold remains bullish. If you look at USD ZAR, it is correcting at the moment. I have it open here. There we go. So on Tuesday, we spoke about USD ZAR going up one more time, right? It went up, still stuck in a correction. Now this move towards the downside is just a short-term bullish wave within a massive bearish trend. So let me do this. Let me just clear this, right? There we go. So now USD ZAR, guys, it could be coming back down to this low, right? Which it almost hit, right? So you see this, let me zoom in. So you see now this candle, it's debatable whether it has reached the low or not. It's debatable. So we'll go to the lower time frames to see, right? And we could also see USD ZAR coming back down to this low. So these are the potential lows we could see USD ZAR going back to, right? So now if you look at your lower time frames, like your daily, let me see the 8 hour. The 8 hour is still bearish. Yeah, okay. So let me use the 4 hour. Now on the 4 hour, this price action that's forming here, right? It is nothing but a correction. It is nothing but a correction because the trend, ultimately everything is still bearish. So the correction I see here, it's this one, right? It's a regular flat. So price is creating one more correction for one more push towards the downside. It's almost similar to this. Almost similar to this correction here, right? Let me use this trend lines where we had a correction and price went down one more time, right? So the market is doing that. So what's most likely going to happen in the short term is that the market is going to go up to break this high, right? This is to complete this structure. It's going to go up to break this high. Once it breaks this high, then at any point around this zone, we're likely going to get a continuation, one more push down, right? One more push down there. So yeah, so in the short term, at the moment, USD ZAR is trading within a correction. So within that correction, we are trading within this last move up, right? This last move up to break this high. And then from there, the trend is still bearish. So we would expect the market to continue pushing lower. So USD ZAR, according to what we see right now, it is still bearish. It remains bearish, trading within a correction at the moment for one more drop. If anything changes, right? If for whatever reason, instead of price going down, it creates something and then it changes, we will discuss this change, right? We can't talk about it because it has not happened. But if it happens, we'll talk about it, right? But with what we see right now, it is bearish at the moment. You see how it is. So yeah, so USD ZAR, according to this, look what happened here, right? You see how we created this high. So price came and tapped this high one more time, right? Now, before that high formed, we had this low that formed. So price went up to tap that high, came back down, went up to tap the same high. And then now it's going down. So where is it going to, right? According to structure in this formation, the market tends to go back to this low. It tends to go back to this low, right? This is a formation, basically. I don't want you guys to look at this as a double top, right? Forget about a double top at the moment. Yeah. So we're anticipating USD ZAR to continue pushing down, but it could go up first before it goes down. You see how it is, guys? So yeah, so USD ZAR still bearish. Gold is still bullish. Both of them are in a correction at the moment, right? In a correction. Just keep an eye on USD ZAR. On gold. All we want on gold is for it to do what it's doing right now. You see how it's respecting the support, trying to break the resistance. That is what we want to see. Respect the support, break the resistance. All right. So yeah, so that's what we want to see at the moment. But yeah, so gold is bullish. USD ZAR is still bearish, anticipating one more leg to the downside. One more wave towards the downside. Yeah, so that is gold and USD ZAR. Gold and USD ZAR. So let's see what's going to happen. All right. Great stuff. What else should we look at, guys? Let me see if there's anything in your mind before we go over the analysis. All right, let me see. If you kept an eye on the setups we spoke about on Tuesday, you'll notice that they are moving. All right, CAD JPY, we've been talking about CAD JPY. All right, CAD JPY is moving. I remember we spoke about this also in last week's advanced classes, right? That CAD JPY, once it breaks out of this, we are likely going to see this push towards the upside. In fact, the JPY pairs, we spoke about them, and then we said the market is likely going to go up. At that time, they were still trapped in a correction. All right, so CAD JPY, it is pushing up. Where is this going? Well, first, it's coming back to this high, right? It's going back to this high first, right? Now, if it breaks that high, then it's going back to this high. It's going back to this high. So that's where we see CAD JPY going. All right, this was a beautiful one. And then if you look at GBP JPY also, right, there were trading opportunities here. We spoke about GBP JPY. It gave us a retest when it broke. There's the retest, and then it's pushing up, right? So where could this go? Well, first, it's going back to this high first, right? And then if it breaks that high, then it has the potential to go all the way up. CAD JPY, potential to go all the way up. So what we're seeing now is the trend creating highs and lows now. I mean, higher highs and higher lows. So if we look at how price broke this structure, we've got a higher low here, price went up, all right? So now if we get another higher low at some point, then we're just gonna follow what the market is doing, all right? So GBP JPY also pushing up, CAD JPY. I'm not sure if we spoke about Euro Yen and AUD JPY, but let me go to them. All right, AUD JPY. Yeah, I think we spoke about this one. Yeah, and then I said this one is likely gonna go back here first, right? I had this arrow, but according to structure, this one should be going up to that high, all the way up to that high there, right? And this is because the trend is bullish. That's it. We just follow the trend. All right. So the correction is done. So if the correction is done, the momentum of the trend resumes towards the upside. So we can see this going back to that high. If it continues to go higher, then this is the areas going back to. So AUD JPY. USD JPY, you're going to see the very same thing. There's USD JPY. USD JPY, it broke. So these were the same things, guys, right? That's why I said on Tuesday, you see right now, especially this year, right? Compared to the other years, this year it was a little bit simpler for you to trade the markets, a little bit simpler for you to understand what's happening and for you to trade the markets. A little bit simple because of the structures were clean. They were clean, they were smooth. All right. So AUD JPY is going back to that high right there. I mean, this is USD JPY. USD JPY is going back to that high. All right. And then if it breaks, if it continues trading towards the upside, then it's going back to this high. So we can see it pushing to that high. If it breaks it, it's going back to that high. Right? It's a little bit simpler now, guys. That I can tell. It's a little bit simpler because the structures are clean. Also, this is exactly what we focus on in the TD Markets Academy, right? On TD Markets Academy, we focus on structure, right? Before we even look at indicators, so forth and so on, it's important that you understand structure because that's how price moves, right? That's how price moves. Think of it like this. If you learn how to drive, they teach you how to maneuver around, let's say around four-way stops. I want you guys to think of the stops and goes we see on the road, right? The robots, the stop signs. You learn how to navigate your way in a stop sign, in a robot, a red robot, and so forth and so on. So think of those situations as the structure, right? You can't manipulate the red robot. You can't do any funny stuff in a stop sign, right? Well, in this day and age, you've got people driving how they want to drive, but think of that as structure. All right. So market structures is exactly what you go over. We emphasize on market structure because once you understand market structure, then you will know how to add things on top. Then you will know how to use Fibonacci because Fibonacci is a tool. Then you will know how to use certain indicators because they just add on to the confluence, right? A stochastic will not work better if you don't know structure. A Fibonacci is not going to work proper if you don't know structure. You see that? So that's what we emphasize. So the structures we've seen this year, they've been clean and smooth. Obviously, there are times where price is a little bit funky, right? It's a little bit doing this, but it's all part of price action. All you need to know is how to navigate around such a price reaction. So USD JPY, it's pushing back to the high, clean structure, right? Once it breaks that, then it's likely going to push all the way up there. Together with GBP JPY, we spoke about GBP JPY as well. So if we go back to it, let me just find it here. No, I mean, we already went over GBP JPY, Euro JPY also, it's pushing up to that high there, right? It was a simple case of the trend retracing and the retracement or the correction completes through the market creating supports and higher lows. So you've got that higher low that gave you a clue. You've got this one that gave you a clue. So the moment price breaks the previous high, right, that formed, followed by this higher low, then this would have given you a clue. You would have known that there's a higher probability that price will continue trading towards the upside. You see how it is. So it's all part of structure. Can you please check Dogecoin? Yeah, let's see what happened. We spoke about crypto on Tuesday, looking at a bit of fundamentals. So let's see what's happening with Doge. All right. So Doge, obviously we had this massive sell-off, right, as a result of what happened, the tariffs, the trade wars, and all of that, right? But it is still bullish. It's just creating this, right? Let me do this. So okay, let me start from the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, we've got this higher high that formed, right? We've got that higher high that formed. So according to the structure, it is still bullish. Maybe you are seeing bearish signs on the lower time frames, but look what price action has done. It has come back to the support again, right? We have a huge spike on that support. So we have a higher high, we've got a higher low, price came back down one more time, right? So now, because the bigger structure is bullish, we want momentum to shift bullish, right? And this is a situation where if you want to sell, it's entirely up to you, right? If you want to sell, that should remain short term. Any sell opportunities should be short term, because longer term it is bullish, right? So what do we see here? Let's see. Let's go back. So what we see is this is broken. We have broken out of the structure, and price continues to create higher highs, right? This sell off there, I don't think it changes anything. Right? We're most likely going to see a push towards the upside. So as long as we have this high that formed there, and then as long as we have broken below this structure here, right? At any point, we're likely going to see price pushing up. Or let me put it like this, right? At any point around this zone, we are just focused on buy opportunities. So where it is right now, right, there's a possibility that it might go down one more time, or it might go up from there, right? So all you need to watch out for here is so first things first, just be clear with your direction. And look for those confirmations, right, in line with the direction. Because as it is right now, right, it might go down one more time. It might do this. It could do this, go down one more time, give us something like this, a structure like this, before it goes up, right? Structure like this. And then if it rejects and then it goes on to break this, then we know we've got this reversal towards the upside, right? It might do something like this, or it could just give us one more leg towards the downside, and then from here on we'll just keep an eye to see if we get this. You see that? So at the moment, these are the two possibilities because of this reaction, right? So so on the bigger structure, it remains bullish. The lower time frames could be a little bit bearish, right? People might see this and try to look for sell opportunities. There's nothing wrong with that. So we're just focusing on buy opportunities on this one. So we don't have much to do on this one. Let's just wait for price to give us a reversal. Just anywhere here. Let's just wait for price to give us a reversal. All right, so so this is how Dogecoin is looking at the moment. There isn't much to do at the moment. I think give it one more week. Give it this week. Let's see how this weekly candle closes, right? Maybe next week we'll visit it to see if there's any changes. But we are interested in this move. All right, so that is Dogecoin. Dogecoin. Let me see. All right, cool stuff. So the yens, the yen, we went over the yen, which are bullish. So basically what we spoke about, guys, has not changed. All right, so let me just go through a few updates. The dollar, Euro USD. Let me first start with the DXY. Let's do this. In fact, let's start with the DXY. Right, so here's the DXY. All right, the DXY is still pushing up. As you guys can see, we have a clear bullish trend. All right, and then recently price retraced back down to the 61.8. So the 61.8, that's where a higher low formed, and then this move that's going up, it resumes the trend. So it's an impulse wave. So this impulse wave, according to structure, it's going back to that high. That is where it's going. It's pushing back to this high, right? If it breaks this high, then it's likely going to go back to that high. So we've got this possibility. So at the moment, it's going back there. Now, if it breaks that, then it's going back to that high there. That's why I have that price level there, right? So these are the two possibilities. So now, obviously, the dollar is strong. It has gained momentum. If you look at your Euro USDs, there we go. If you take a look at Euro USD, short term, it's coming back down to this low. Short term, right? It's coming back down to this low. We spoke about this on Monday. On Tuesday, that we're looking for a continuation down. Now, if it breaks this low, then it's likely gonna go back all the way down to this low. We're just gonna take it price action by price action, right? Pattern by pattern, formation by formation. So according to this formation here, it's going back down to this low first, according to this formation. And then we'll come back and talk about, what could happen there. So that is Euro USD. And then you've got GBP USD that's also pushing back down to this low. All right, let me do it. It's pushing back down to this low here. And then if it breaks this low, then it's likely going to go all the way back down to this low. You see that? So, but for starters, we are going back down to this low. And it's all about just following the strength of the dollar, right? Nothing hectic, just follow the strength of the dollar. Now, this will be the same with your NZD USD, AUD USD that are currently in a correction. If you look at AUD USD right now, it is bearish, but at the moment trading within a correction. So according to this correction, right, we might see the market going up one more time before it continues down because of this correction here, right? We might see one more push up before it goes down. This is similar with NZD USD as well. NZD USD, it's trading within the correction. So we might see this go up one more time before it goes down. You see how it is? But overall, they remain bearish. All right. But then if you look at the dollar pairs as a base currency, like USD CAD, USD Swiss, those ones, they should be pushing up. So USD CAD at the moment, it's within a correction. Here's our correction, right? Now I'm going to draw a channel here. Let's draw it like this. I'm going to draw a channel like this. And then now all we want is a break of this channel now, right? It's clear that price is not going anywhere, right? It is going down within this channel, but the momentum is still bullish. So now we're just looking for a break above the channel whenever it breaks. And once it breaks, then we know that this has the higher probability of resuming the trend. If you guys know about chart patterns, this is a chart pattern, right? It's the same as this one here. Also this one, it's a bull flag. All right. USD Swiss is going up. This one is good. It is going up. So we are looking at price going back to this high again. But let me make it very simple here. Let me do this. So if we look at this move up, right? And then this move down. So this move, obviously it bounced from this area. So from this low, this is a higher low, right? If you take a look at this low, this was going to be a higher low. And now, according to structure, once price forms a higher low, where is it going? It's going back to the high. It's going back to that high because it's a higher low. It's something like this. You see that? We've got a higher low here. So it's going back to that high. So USD Swiss is good, it's going up. So this would have been the first target here. This would have been the first target. Now, should it break this, then it's going all the way back to that high again. Right, so it's about to reach that area. Should it break above that area, it's definitely going to push towards the upside. If you look at USD JPY, we spoke about it, that one already, that is going up. So the dollar is strong at the moment. We just follow the strength of the dollar. All right. However, now with gold is a different case now, right? So gold is bullish. I don't think gold is going to follow the strength of the dollar. we are going to have those retracements in between, right? But the overall structure we're seeing right now is still bullish. So even if the dollar is strong, gold is likely going to continue moving up. There's still tension in the Middle East. You still have your trade wars. There's a few geopolitical events that are impacting gold positively. We all know that gold is a safe haven. So whenever what's happening right now happens, then we know that investors will use gold to give them that stability, right? Because it's a safe haven. So we are going with that mindset, right? Gold, safe haven. During times like this, we look at gold pushing up. So we're just in a correction at the moment. Once this correction is done, then we're likely going to see a continuation to the upside. All right. And then this will be the same with silver as well. So with gold, remains bullish. All right. Gold remains bullish. The dollar is also strong. And then the minor pairs, we spoke about a few the last time. You guys will remind me. We spoke about AUD Swiss. AUD Swiss pushing up back to that area. I've had this arrow since, right? This was a nice one because price was breaking above this zone. So we said now the area where price could go to is this high. So AUD Swiss is pushing up. And what else did we talk about actually? You guys will remind me, right? But anyway, it's fine. So euro pound, right? Euro pound is a bit of a mess at the moment. It's a bit of a mess. So with the formation like this, it is creating on the 4 hour, it is creating a contracting pattern, right? A contracting pattern. And with a contracting pattern, we know that it might break to the upside, it might break towards the downside. That's the nature of the contracting pattern, right? So we might get a move towards the downside, or we might get a move towards the upside there, right? It's the nature of this contracting pattern. So yeah, it's a bit of a mess. We're just going to wait for the break to see what's going to happen, right? But looking at what GBP USD is doing, I think this one might just break towards the upside, looking at what GBP USD is doing. But let's wait and see, right? I might be wrong. It might go down. So let's look at what we see. As long as we are able to recognize this formation, then I think we can prepare for any trade opportunity. All right. So that is euro pound. I'm going to skip a few, guys, because nothing is happening on those ones, right? So I'm going to skip a few. We've got AUD NZD, which I think we spoke about or not, right? AUD and NZD, this one is not done. This move, right? This trend here is not done. So this trend is not done, all right? So at the moment, what's happening here is a correction. We've got a correction forming. And now all we're looking for is for price to break out of this correction to indicate that it's done. So we might see the break happen where price is, or we could see the market going down one more time before it breaks, right? But the move we are focusing on is to the upside, right? So there might be one more push down before it breaks, or it could break where the market is right now. So yeah, so AUD NZD, this one it's about to complete its current trend, right? Seen on the daily time frame. So this trend seen on the daily time frame, or even the weekly time frame, it's about to complete it. We just need one more push to the upside. All right, one more push to the upside. So this one with watching. AUD Euro Yen, we spoke about it. AUD NZD, it's still in a correction, right? It's still within a correction. At the moment, it's coming back down here. At the moment, it's coming back down here, right? In fact, it's about to complete that move. Why? Because it went up to retest the zone, right? It went up to retest that zone. So we've got a lower high that is formed here. We've got a lower high. It's coming back down to this lower low, right? So once it gets there, then we'll see. This is within the correction on the 1 hour time frame. If you go to the higher time frame, you'll see that this is nothing but a retracement here, right? It's the same as this one. It's the same as this one, right? These are the retracements. Why? Because the bigger trend and structure is bullish. There, right? Unless the market changes this trend, unless it does, right? But with what you see right now, it remains bullish. So intraday, or short-term analysis trades is that this is going back down to the previous low, and then from that low we will then wait to see if it's ready to go up or not. We'll see, right? If it's ready. But for now, it's coming back down here just to complete the structure. All right, that's where it is going. That's Euro NZD. GBP CAD, gonna skip it at the moment because it is still a bit of a mess. Although at the moment it's a little bit clearer now. At the moment it's a little bit clearer now. This is GBP CAD on the daily time frame. This is the pattern we see. And so let's see where the market is now. This is the pattern we're seeing. So this move has already reached this low, right? It's just a few pips, but it has already reached this low, right? So definitely this was an area of support in the past. So now it seems like it's trying to bounce, right? So there are two possibilities, remember. The market can either bounce and go up, or it can break and go down. It's a support. Support breaks sometimes it holds price. So what we want to try and see now is if the market will hold or break this, right? But in terms of where it is right now, it's on the support. We're just keeping an eye to see the reaction we're going to get. Sellers going to take advantage of this. Sellers going to close their profits. Buyers going to take advantage of this. So let's see. So at the moment, we'll come back next week and see what's going to happen, right? We've got these two possibilities. We'll come back and see what's going to happen next week, right? So that's pound CAD. Pound Swiss, there's nothing on this one because it completed its bearish move. We were talking about the market going down the last time. It completed that move. So from here, there's either this possibility, we've got these two possibilities from there, right? Because this is the low. It might, in fact, it's a support here. It's a support. So we want to see if this support is going to break or it's going to hold. Hence these two possibilities, right? This possibility and this possibility. So this one we also need to wait a little bit. And I'm going to skip a few because they are not clear as yet. NZD JPY, it's a JPY pair, right? Now, the JPY is weak at the moment because of what's happening. Fundamentally, in Japan, hence we've got a weaker JPY, right? So this one, NZD JPY, just like AUD JPY, USD JPY, it's still pushing back to that high. Because this is a correction. This is one big correction here, right? One big correction here for one more push up, right? So anticipating this to continue pushing up. So this is what we spoke about, guys, right? Also, we spoke about the cryptos on top, but basically this is what we spoke about. As you guys can see, direction is still the same, right? Still the same. I think every single week we come into a session, we're gonna stick with the same script, same direction, and also just update and see if there are any trade ideas we can get out of this. But yeah, still the same, guys. Still the same. Follow the market. Updates on the opening bell, of course, on the trading rooms. But yeah, just follow the direction. Follow that direction. All right. So yeah, guys. So that's how things are looking. I'm not sure if I missed anything. Did I miss anything? Let's see. Is there something that I missed? All right, I don't think I missed anything. All right. So yeah, so that is the Thursday market analysis and update trading room, right? Apologies for this one that started an hour earlier, but the other ones, that the upcoming ones, are gonna be at 2, sticking to the same regular schedule. All right, this one we had to push it an hour earlier, right? But yeah, the next week ones at 2 p.m. So keep an eye on our social media pages for any updates, and we'll catch you guys again on next week's trading rooms, right? Opening bells. Remember, if you guys want to open an account, tdmarkets.com, have a look at the types of accounts we have there. If you guys want more information, you can contact us at care@tdmarkets.com. We also have the TD Markets Academy, where we provide support in terms of education. So all you need is an account, get it verified, have some funds in the account, then we'll give you a schedule of the TD Markets Academy. All right. I think it's on the website as well. So guys, we're going to end it here for today, right? Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of the day, the rest of the week, and we'll catch you guys next week. Right. Cheers, everyone.